Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. बजाएगा कौन? करताल कौन बजाएगा? हरि बोल. कीर्तन करो. प्रद्युम्न मिश्रा का नंबर है, टाइम लगेगा तब तक कीर्तन करो.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki. हरे कृष्ण।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अश्वदर श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की। गंगा मैया जमुना मैया की। तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, Chapter 3, entitled The Lord's Pastimes Out of Vrindavan. Text 18. Ayaya jad dharma sutam Ashvamedha stribhir vibho Sopikshamam anujai rakshan Reme Krishnam anuvrata. Ayajayad dharma sutam Ashvamedha stribhir vibho सोऽपि क्षमाम् अनुजैरक्षन् रेमे कृष्णम् अनुव्रता अयायजद्धर्मसुतम् अश्वमेधैस्त्रिभिर्विभो सोऽपि क्षमाम् अनुजैरक्षन् रेमे कृष्णम् अनुव्रता रेमे कृष्ण माताजी's word-to-word translation. Ayayajat, made to perform. Dharma Sutam, by the son of Dharma, Maharaj Yudhishthir. Ashwamedhai, by horse sacrifices. Tribhai, three. Vibhu, the Supreme Lord. Saha, Maharaj Yudhishthir. Api, also. Kshamam, the earth. Anujay, assisted by his young brothers. Rakshan, protecting. Reme, enjoyed. Krishnam, Krishna the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anuvrataha, constant follower. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Lord endued the son of Dharma to perform 3 horse sacrifices, and Maharaj Yudhishthir, constantly following Krishna, the Personality of Godhead, protected and enjoyed the earth, assisted by his younger brothers. Purport. Maharaj Yudhishthir was the ideal monarchical representative on the earth because he was a constant follower of the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. As stated in Vedas, Upanishads, the Lord is the proprietor of the entire manifested cosmic creation, which presents a chance for the conditioned soul to revive their eternal relationship with the Lord and thus go back to Godhead, back home. The whole system of material world is arranged with a program and plan. Anyone who violates the plan is punished by the law of nature, which is acting by the direction of the Supreme Lord. Maharaj Yudhishthir was installed on the throne of the earth as a representative of the Lord. The king is always expected to be the representative of Lord. Perfect monarchy necessitates a representation of the supreme will of the Lord, and Maharaj Yudhishthir was the ideal monarch on this supreme principle. Both the king and the subjects were happy in the discharge of worldly duties, and thus protection of the citizens and enjoyment of natural life with full cooperation of material nature followed in the reign of Maharaj Yudhishthir and his worthy descendants like Maharaj Parikshit. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataru Brasha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today's discussion is about how Lord induced Yudhishthira Maharaj to start the sacrifice. So in the purport, very interestingly, Prabhupada mentions about the world is designed for some purpose. It has some program. It has some plan. So once Srila Prabhupada was informed by one of his disciples that one person in the Western countries, he was who had a philosophy that this world is without any meaning, is very absurd, no purpose. So this world is without any purpose. And one day, he just drove over a cliff and jumped off the cliff because there is no purpose. So many people, they just live in this world and they're gone without even trying to understand what is the existence meant for. Right? So meaning of this existence, we need to know why this material world is made up of. So one thing we surely understand it, material world is a miserable place. So, is it just meant to torture us? So, we see many times so many songs and shairis have been written about how this place is filled with the miseries, the agony and the sufferings. But mostly the people, they don't try to understand why it is so, why this material world is like this. So once somebody start inquiring about that why, that is the entrance to the spiritual quest. And that's why we should ask the why of life. What is the purpose of the life? So let's say if you understand what is a concentration camp is. Concentration camp, which has a generally very extreme harsh conditions in a life. It is very, there's a lot of torture goes on. In just one place, there are so many people which are like a suffocating, very unhygienic conditions without much of a medical facilities. They are just waiting that when the battery will run off. That means when they will die. They are just waiting for when the death will knock us. So that's a concentration camp. But whereas the jail, if you see, there is a suffering and harsh conditions even in the jail, as like in a concentration camp. But the difference here is the person is put in the jail with some purpose. The purpose is to punish him so that he can reform himself, so that he can learn the lesson. So this material world, which is very a place of a misery, we have to undergo through a torture. So this material world is not a concentration camp, but it is a jail. Torture is there, but it is not without any meaning. It is for us to reform ourselves. That is the plan of the material world. That is the plan of this design. Now, when we see the jail, when we see this material world, Lord has given so many facilities to us. He has provided enormous facilities through the nature. So when we look at any facilities, like we see the seeds, we are getting so many foods, varieties of foodstuffs, grains, flowers, vegetations, right? And every seed has captured, there is a formula in every seed by which it can grow and expand into the so many vegetation, so many fruits and grains. And every of that has a seeds, and it can multiply further, right? So there is a wonderful design by which we get so much facilities in the nature. Now sometimes the atheist may deny of there is any higher being, there is a God. But when we understand and look at the design of this material world and this material nature, the wonderful facilities are well designed for our existence. So for the fact of that matter, we actually are so much dependent upon this nature. So one time there was a famous magazine, a science magazine called as Nature, which had produced an article, which has published an article which said that, it says that if there's so many things we derive from the nature, if we have to pay back to the nature the bill, it will cost us 16 trillion to the 53 trillion US dollar per annum. So much amount we'll have to pay back to the nature. And this doesn't include sunlight. Irrespective of the sunlight, this is what the nature has arranged so many things for us. And just the sunlight, if the bill has to be counted for this, given to the sun, then it will be 60 billion pound per day. If we imagine to pay back to the nature, we will go bankrupt. It is not possible. So, does these facilities and this design of the nature happens automatically? No. When somebody says it is happening automatically, means he just doesn't know, he is not aware of the controller behind the scene, right? So, same way, in the jail, there are lot many facilities are provided for the food, for the clothing, for the shelter, the medical facilities, and so many other things are also provided. If a prisoner in the jail start thinking that this is such a wonderful facilities, so let me just continue here, because even my like-minded people are also around, those criminals and prisoners are also around, so let me just continue here, right? That person is a foolish person if he continues to think like that, right? So, because one should think, how can I set free myself? So, Lord has given us so much facilities through the Mother Nature, but He has also given the purpose for that facilities, we should understand, it is for our reformation, right? So, He has also given the provision for the self-improvement, and we should take up to that. So, and once somebody takes up to that, then we will be set free from this material bondage. But whereas in a concentration camp, there is no facilities that you can set free for yourself, right? You are just there to die. There is no chance to escape. So, if one doesn't understand and doesn't use the facilities given by God for the purpose it is meant for, then what we are? So somebody who is just counterproductive way using these facilities, then one will perpetually continue to be in the jail, right? If a person, a criminal in the jail, he continues to do the pickpocketing and disrupting the whole environment there, will he be set free? No. He will perpetually continue to rot in the jail. His punishment will become more and more severe because he is acting against the laws. But if he takes upon the process of self-improvement, he will be released early. Same way in this material world. If one performs proper dharmic activities, he will be released. But if one misutilizes the God-given facilities, then will continue to rot into this material world. So purpose of this material world, the design is for the self-realization. So if you are not fulfilling the purpose of the life, then we are thief. Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna speaks about in a 3rd chapter. Lord Shri Krishna speaks about in 3rd chapter that the facility which is given to us by the universal administrators, we should be grateful to them, we should acknowledge them. Otherwise, if we are just utilizing it for our own sense gratifications, then we are nothing but the thief. We are thief. And Prabhupada writes there in a purport, he says, society of thieves can never be happy because they have no aim in a life. The gross materialist, thieves have no ultimate goal of life. They are simply directed to the sense gratifications. So once Srila Prabhupada was meeting with an industrialist, and Srila Prabhupada asked, what industry you have? And he said, we make a glass, we manufacture glass. And Prabhupada said, how do you produce glass? He said, what is the raw material? And he said, we produce it from the silicon. And Prabhupada asked, from where did you get the silicon? He said, we get the silicon from the sand, from the earth. So, Prabhupada, the natural question is, have you produced the sand? Have you produced the silica? Have you produced the earth elements? No. So, it is nature has given. By the Lord's arrangement, it is provided. So if you are utilizing these facilities just for your own purpose, then Prabhupada said you are a thief. But then that industrialist said, but I give the donation also. Then Prabhupada said, okay, then you are not a bigger thief, you are a lesser thief. The point is, the facilities which are given to us, we should understand the purpose behind it. We should work on the self-realization. That is the purpose of life. That is the arrangement and the design of this material world is. So we have to use these facilities, and that doesn't mean that we can lead a happy life using these facilities. We can lead a happy life, whereas in this purport also, Prabhupada mentions Maharaj Yudhishthir, he was protecting and enjoying the earth. While he was ruling the world, he was enjoying. So happy life is possible, but at the same time, we need to be responsible. Like, the father's home is a son's home also. He also enjoys all the facilities which is in the home, which is provided by father. But at the same time, father is expecting from the son to be responsible, to live for some purpose. So, he is expected to be obedient to the expectations of his father. In the same way, we should follow the purpose of life, which has been very much stated by the Lord written into our scriptures. We should follow the idea of the designer of this world. So Lord's compassion is, He has given abundant facilities, right? And to remind the souls of this world, the purpose of this, He also comes millennium after millennium. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He comes again and again. And in between, He sends so many souls, right, to guide us. There is a spiritual master. And He establishes such an ideal monarch like a Yudhishthir Maharaj, so that they can guide. So king is a representative of the Lord to execute the mission of Lord as laid down in the scriptures. He himself set an examples and inspire others to do so. Yad yad acharati shreshtas. So translation says, Lord caused Yudhishthira Maharaj to perform 3 horse sacrifices, Ashwamedha Yajna. This is the same thing is being referred into the first canto in the 8th chapter, where the translation says, Lord Shri Krishna caused the 3 well-performed Ashwamedha sacrifices to be conducted by Maharaj Yudhishthira, and thus caused his virtuous fame to be glorified in all direction, like that of Indra, who had performed 100 such sacrifices. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, fame was greater, if not greater than equal to Indra. How? Krishna made him more famous than Indra. Indra, who is known as a Shatakritu, that means performer of the 100 sacrifices. Indra holds that record of a century. Right? But who became more famous? Yudhishthira Maharaj, who just performed 3. It is like, if you have to understand this, we can understand, in a match, somebody who scored a century, but man of the match was given to a cricketer who just scored 3 runs. Right? So, this is what we understand. Indra, who is the emperor of a heavenly planet, but Yudhishthira Maharaj was just ruling this Bharatvarsha, earthly planet. But Yudhishthira Maharaj's fame was spreading all over, in all direction, because Krishna caused this fame. 3 is surely less than 100. But when there is a Krishna's blessings, that is 3 plus the blessings of Krishna, then it is greater than 100. And this is what the spiritual mathematics is. Spiritual mathematics, where we understand, Ajamila just chanted the one holy name, and he got away with the Yamadutas, Yamapash. Even though he chanted unintentionally, that one holy name overweighed all the sinful reactions which he had committed. Ajamil, who had committed so many sins, he had left the parents, he left his young wife, started living with a prostitute and having children from that prostitute, engaging in all kinds of adharmic activities later in his life. He was just building so much sinful baggage. He was deserving to be punished by Yamadutas. But this big baggage of sin could not overweigh the power of one holy name which he was chanting. So these are spiritual mathematics, where one holy name counters so many sinful reactions. We see in a Sudama who had packed a humble gift of a chipped rice, flat rice, while he was going to meet Krishna in Dwarka. So Krishna, when Sudama saw such a palatial opulence of Lord Shri Krishna, he was very hesitant to bring about that humble gift. But Krishna insisted, and Krishna accepted that chipped rice with such a great joy. He says, "My friend, you have brought this for me. It gives me extreme pleasure. Indeed, these few grains of flat rice will satisfy not only me, but also the entire universe." That was Lord, who was just satisfied, not just satisfied, he caused the whole entire universe to be satisfied with that handful of chipped rice. So when he was about to eat the second, Rukmani hold the hand and she said, "Wait, please." And the Acharyas, they give the commentary. They says, with a fistful of chipped rice, Lord has awarded the greatest of the wealth to Sudama of this world. And with the next fistful, if you have taken, actually the goddesses of fortune, she would have to surrender to Brahmana, and she will have to serve that Brahmana, Sudama. So just one fistful of rice could acquire such a greatest of wealth of this material world, right? That's what is a spiritual equation is. For us to understand, it means, somebody is going to purchase a flat near to Pali Hill or a Beverly Hills, or may not be in a Beverly Hills nowadays, but let's say in a Balbar Hills, and he is going to purchase, but with he's carrying a bag of a rice, and he goes to the owner and says, "Okay, I want to purchase the sea-facing apartment." And the owner says, "Oh, okay, there is no need of that bag of rice, just one fistful of rice is enough for the exchange of that flat." Will he? No, surely not. When somebody produces a bag of rice for an exchange of a flat in a Pali Hills or a Malabar Hills facing towards the sea, the owner will say, "Where is the camera? Are you recording a prank?" Isn't it? So, that cannot be possible. But in a spiritual calculations, that's why the spiritual calculations are far different than any material calculations. We see in a Prithu Maharaja's case, in the 4th canto, Prithu Maharaj, this episode comes that the Prithu Maharaj has performed 99 sacrifice and he was on the 100th. He was on a century, about to make a century. But Indra became very insecure because somebody who performs 100 sacrifices, then he can occupy the post of, he is eligible to occupy the post of Indra. And that's why Indra became very insecure that my position is under threat. So he disguised himself as a sannyasi and he stole that horse. So Prithu Maharaj's son, who was going behind the Indra and saw somebody who dressed as a sannyasi who was stealing the horse. And that's why he didn't kill, but he took back that horse. He didn't attack. But again, Indra did the same thing. Again, son of Prithu Maharaj, he chased him and got back. And again this was happening. Prithu Maharaj became very angry. He actually he decided and he wanted to kill Indra. But the priest says, okay, you don't kill because it will create a lot of inauspicious in this sacrificial arena. So we'll chant the mantra that he becomes the ahuti into the sacrificial fire. And that's when all these things were happening, and that's when Lord Brahma comes and he says to Prithu Maharaj, he requests to the Prithu Maharaj, stop this. Because this is bringing out the worst from the Indra, so better stop these sacrifices. And if you stop this, I will bless you that you will become more famous than Indra. So here we see Prithu Maharaj stopped the sacrifice and he is being glorified into the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this means 99 is greater than 100. So these are the spiritual equations. So when there is a Krishna, or who is the representative of Lord Shri Krishna, like Lord Brahma, the blessings are with Prithu Maharaj. Even the 99 can overweigh the 100. Sometimes, there was one time into the Indian cricket team, one player was on the 99 and the India was just wanting 1 run to win. And this batsman was also on the strike. He also wanted 1 run to win. 1 run to make a century. But the opposition party, they planned and they did a no ball, so that the score can be that India wins, but he will not get a century. So many times the people they are planning, that he should not get a century, right? But Prithu Maharaj, because he was blessings of Brahma, he was happy, and that 99 was greater than 100. We see in the Gajendra, who offered 1 lotus flower with love and with the prayers. And Lord actually personally came to rescue Gajendra from the jaws of crocodile. And not just freed him from the jaws of crocodile, but liberated him from the material bondage. So that simple offering of a 1 lotus flower actually earned him the greatest of the spiritual benefit. So the spiritual mathematics is based upon patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayashyati tadam bhakti upratam ashnami prayatatmana. So the same shloka, actually this shloka is from Bhagavad Gita, but the same shloka also comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, into the Sudama's episode just we discussed. The smallest act of a devotion actually brings about the greatest of benefit. So this is spiritual mathematics where 3 is greater than 100, 99 is greater than 100. So Krishna or the pure devotee's blessings actually disrupts all the material calculations. So in spiritual math, K factor, Krishna factor is very important. So this Krishna factor we see in the life of Yudhishthira Maharaj, where he achieved the opulence greater than even Indra. Same we see in the episode of Bali Maharaj. So how do we understand where somebody has received the Krishna factor, is Krishna factor on his side, whether the Krishna's blessings is on his side? In the episode of Bali Maharaj, this was very much depicted, where the Lord is saying, my special mercy is upon you. Although you have been severely tested, Lord has taken away everything from him, but he didn't protest. He accepted the plan of the Lord. And that's why Lord blessed him with the Sutala planets. That Sutala planet has an opulence as good as the heavenly planets which Indra has. So Lord says, so whatever one may be aspiring, even materially, that will be provided. Although the devotee doesn't aspire for any material opulence or a heaven is very insignificant for them. But because Lord says, you have desired it, it will be provided. Ahead, Lord gives the opulence greater than even heavenly planets. And the Lord says there, Janma karma vayorupa vidya aishvarya dhanadibhi vedasya na bhavet stambhas tatrayam mad anugraha. The meaning of this verse is, it says, if a human being is born in an aristocratic family or a highly status of life, if he performs wonderful activity, if he is youthful, if he has a personal beauty, a good education and good wealth, if he is nonetheless not proud of his opulences, it is to be understood that he is specially favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord's blessings are on his side. Krishna factor is on his side. And so Janma Karma Vayorupa. Janma, if a human being is born in an aristocratic family or a higher status of life. Sometimes we see somebody who may say that, okay, I am born into such a Peshava family. But what is he doing? He's just a clerk in office. Somebody may say, okay, he has a Janma, Karma. So if he performs a wonderful activities, he's an expert, he's very skilled. But people take pride in so much that they have done once some great activity. Like somebody who is a ranker in a 12th, he gets into IIT, but in the first semester he gets a backlogs, ATKT. Vayo, if one is a youthful, that means a very enthusiastic, capable of doing many things. Rupa, if somebody has a very personal beauty and a charismatic features, but the time humbles them. As one grows, no more person looks the same. No more he is the same powerful. People try to keep themselves youthful, popping up so many anti-aging medicines and so on and so forth. But they die of the side effects. Vidya, somebody will be a very good has a very good education. Somebody could be a good top class passing from a business school, but his family life is ruined. Somebody who is a dhana, good wealth, right? But a good wealth only attracts a cheater, and where he rarely finds very selfless friends. So people take so much of pride if they have just one of these things, right? And they are lacking into the other factors. But if just any one of them they take so much of pride. What to speak of a person who has all these opulences, right? There will not be any limit of his pride. But what the Lord says here is, if somebody has all these opulences and nonetheless he is not proud of his opulences, it is to be understood he is being specially favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If somebody with his all such opulences and still remains a devotee, performs a devotional service to the Lord, right? Have an unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord, that is considered as a special mercy of the Lord. That means he has a blessings of Lord. K factor is on his side. So, opulences never disturbs a devotee. Bali Maharaj won the 3 volts, right? Lord took away everything from him. And then later he was bound, and Lord was pleased with his surrender, and Lord gave so many opulences back to him. In any of those conditions, he remained without any bewilderment. He still remains a surrendered devotee. Same we see in the life of Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, I was tested twice. When he was, before establishing ISKCON society, in his married life, his business was falling apart. The family was not so cooperative, and he started preaching into Jhansi, but it didn't work out. So everything was failing. And then Prabhupada said, I was tested that time. And when he established ISKCON society, the ISKCON society spread all over the world. So many opulences, so many temples were growing, so many devotees and disciples. Prabhupada said, and the Lord again tested me by giving so many things. So devotee of Lord, he remains undisturbed by the opulences. So material opulences so Lord actually caused these 3 Ashwamedha Yagyas. And so because he wanted the fame of Yudhishthira Maharaj to spread all over the world. He wanted the glories of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So quality of Lord Shri Krishna is he wants to make his devotee more famous. And he doesn't consider any fame for himself. Who can make other people famous is a person who is self-satisfied within himself. When somebody is self-satisfied, then he will not be bothered about his fame, but he will increase the fame of others. Nowadays, when we see in a social media, everybody is taking and utilizing that platform and opportunity to make themselves famous. Even though they don't have any qualifications, with those cheap ideas, they make those kind of videos and they want more subscribers and they want more likes. Right? And that is not the fame we are talking about, right? So Lord is so deeply satisfied within himself, and he want to make his devotees, he want to give more fame, credit to his devotees. So Krishna wants to give fame to his devotees, and devotees wants Krishna to be more famous. We see Yudhishthira Maharaj was performing sacrifice, Rajasuya sacrifice. So the plan of Yudhishthira Maharaj to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, there could be many other reasons why a king want to perform a Rajasuya sacrifice. But when Yudhishthira Maharaj speaks, he says, I desire to worship your auspicious expansion by Rajasuya Yajna. O Lord, please make this endeavor a success. So Srila Prabhupada writes there into Krishna book, he says, Yudhishthira Maharaj saying, my dear Krishna, this sacrifice is the king of all sacrifice, Rajasuya Yajna. I wish to satisfy all devatas, and as per we are concerned, we are nothing to ask from these devatas. We are completely satisfied by performing your devotional service. Right? And he says, but because there are so many people in this world, they are having a poor fund of knowledge, they consider you as an ordinary human being, right? And they may defame you. So therefore, I wish to perform Rajasuya sacrifice, invite all these devatas, and in front of all these devatas, I want to declare that how you are a supreme personality of Godhead, and how this fact is accepted by all these devatas, including Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and everybody else. So that was the purpose why Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to do sacrifice. He was very a soul surrender to Lord Shri Krishna, and he was saying that we are so fortunate, the Pandavas are so fortunate to have you personally, to see you personally. We have no desire for these material opulences, and we have no urgency to perform this Rajasuya Yajna. But in this world, those whose hearts are contaminated, who criticizes you, who takes you as an ordinary person, for them, when we hear that criticisms, it's like an arrow piercing our hearts. So in order to extract this arrow, we want to perform that Rajasuya Yajna, and we want to show your supreme position over everybody, all the devatas. So this is the Yudhishthira Maharaj's heart, where that is the heart of a preacher. He wants to show the world the difference between worshipping Krishna as a supreme and worship of any other things. Right? So, Yada Yada Hi Dharmasi, Lord Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna comes here to establish the dharma in this world. But another meaning of this verse is, Krishna wants to establish Yudhishthira Maharaj as an emperor of this world. and Yudhishthira Maharaj, who is a personification of a dharma, and the Yudhishthira Maharaj will carry out the mission of the Supreme Lord to spread the glories of Lord Shri Krishna. So Krishna wants to make his devotees famous, and devotee wants to make Lord Shri Krishna famous. So in this discussion, what we have seen, just a summary, the material world, we discussed that material world has a plan, material world has a program. It is not without any meaning. It is like a jail and not like a concentration camp. It is the purpose of a self-realization, and Yudhishthira Maharaj is chosen as a representative of the Lord to show the dharmic way. Lord Shri Krishna induced him to perform 3 sacrifices. The 3 sacrifice is greater than 100. That is the spiritual equation. The Prithu Maharaj, who did a 99, he stopped on 99, which is greater than 100. And then one holy name of Ajamil actually outweighed all the sinful baggage. And one lotus flower offered by Gajendra actually got that immense benefit. That is a spiritual equation. That is a Krishna factor. Krishna's blessings. And we saw in a Bali Maharaj's life how these blessings was there. He got a Sutala planet, and devotee is never, Bali Maharaj was never proud of any of these opulences because he was being blessed by the Supreme Lord. Then we saw how Krishna want to make the devotee very famous, and Krishna is self-satisfied, and how the kings like Yudhishthira Maharaj or the devotees want to make Krishna famous, and that was the purpose of his Rajasvi Yajna. Hare Krishna. So if anybody has some comment or any questions, we can take upon that. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.